Hello. Hey, Matthias.
Hi Tracy, that was surprising. Suddenly the music is ending and you are on air, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Were you quite shocked? We have
yeah,
special effects.
totally, totally.
There's Toga in the background supporting us, as always, making the event fun and visually pleasing. So, yeah, welcome everyone to the stream today. We're doing quite a lot of live streams these days. Let me just see.
I changed my background so it looks a bit as if we are in the same.
Looks like we're sitting in the same room, huh?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Brick.
So let me see if I can find our stream on Twitter so I can see how many people have joined. Ah, there you go. Found the live stream. Very good. Hello, everyone. Excited to be here. Happy to see all of you. We're just going to give it a couple more minutes until people tune in. Always take a bit of time when we do the live stream. It's people are coming in from YouTube, from Twitter, from everywhere. How's everyone doing today?
I'm doing fine. Yeah, it's busy days, isn't it? If just had a call yesterday with some guys and speaking about the US election and what might come up there and how much that is influencing the crypto market. And obviously there is a strong correlation, right? So exciting to see what is happening there. But we wouldn't be too political now, right?
Well, as you said, what you noticed at the consensus event,
Yeah.
crypto is becoming extremely political, which obviously I find fascinating because we all came to this space because we want to be decentralized
Yeah,
to stay away
absolutely.
from centralized governments and the typical political shenanigans, but it it seems to have taken a different turn.
That is absolutely fascinating. A decentralized industry really closely looking to the centralized elections that are happening there. Well, you could say it's a community vote, and therefore it is. Yeah, it is also a decentral event, but nevertheless, it's driven by some very central cash ponds, so to say, right? So I think this is in particular interesting. And Tracy, you're mentioning consensus. Yeah, that's absolutely right. For the ones who are already listening and couldn't have the chance to actually visit consensus in Austin, Texas, what was it, like 2 months ago? In the meantime,
Yeah.
time flies. Hell. It was extremely political. There was Robert Kennedy and his tour bus or merge bus standing in front of the venue for 3 days, close to say penetrating all and everybody that was walking by. There were strong debates on stage with representatives of the tech industry, blue and red defending like the Democrats and the Republicans, whom to endorse and what party would be better actually to the sake of crypto and blockchain and AI and all this tech industry. Then I think this is followed up by most recent announcements that obviously Elon Musk would support Donald Trump on a whatever, like monthly, weekly base. I don't know, 45 million. What's a billion between friends? So obviously he now denounced that again. So this is obviously not a real story, and so on and so forth. But you can see that this is this meddling in this politics is, and the politics meddling in technology is, let me say it like exciting in many means. Yeah, it's we started fintech 12 years ago uh, in making kind of banking better. This is how we started. Now we are in the midst of a political discussion. So when is Moga listing? Idiomo Ifanga Idiomo, sorry, finally asking us a Moga
Yeah,
question.
so I'm just observing the channel and we've got 60 viewers dialed in right now. So I think this is a hint that we should get started soon. But I'm just gonna give it like one more minute because actually I'm doing still some background preparations here. So just give me a little bit of time. But very excited that everyone's here today because we have news that we want to unveil regarding our MOGA token, and these are the first communications we'll be doing for a mega MOGA liftoff. Um, and actually, we've been extremely lucky that our good partner at Medieval Empires actually is sponsoring the price for this event. They are going to launch a free mint for a Genesis NFT for what is it called? Sorry, I'm not a huge gamer myself, so it takes a bit of time. So they're launching Genesis Commander NFT collection, and there's gonna be a free mint, and the listeners today have a chance to claim a whitelist spot for this free mint, right? Which is highly limited. The supply is relatively low out of the hundreds and thousands of players they have at Medieval Empire. So this is a really great opportunity. Um, so, oh, I see some of our audience are getting really excited. All right, so before we get started, let me just so yeah, what's happening in the crypto market? So we just talked about politics for one. Hopefully, we won't be hearing too much of that. What we are really looking forward to seeing is actually gaming coming back this summer, right? So a lot of really high quality gaming projects have entered the space in the last couple of months, actually even years now, and more projects are significantly increasing in their maturity, in the economy, in the offering to the clients. And what we have seen now also is the availability of a brand new gaming channel. And it used to be not a gaming channel, it used to be a messenger. But now we have a brand new gaming channel, which is Telegram. So that's also bringing a lot of excitement to the space because it's going to open up the possibility of bringing in new players, new engagement, and new earning opportunities for everyone. Right. So we at Mogaland will also have some plans and announcements in that direction soon, but that's not our focus today. What we want to talk about today is actually back to the MOGA token everyone has heard so much about, but we haven't revealed so much until now, until we believe the project is ready, the market is ready, and here we go. Um, I'm like multitasking for those of you who might have
Ka-
noticed. Yeah.
Kamala absolutely would be big on Moga because we are built forever. I love that. Sorry, Tracy, I have to jump on that. But I think, that it's definitely up to the values of what she is representing, right? It's about empowerment, it's about education, it's about making it a better society, being inclusive. This is what Moga is about, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're here to actually tell everyone more about because we have published, of course, our white paper. For those of you who haven't had a chance to read it, it's at whitepaper.mogaland.io. Very easy to find. But we know it's a lot of information and it's quite technical, right? So it's quite important for us to also have a direct conversation with our community to let everyone know what it's all about. And as always, feel free to pop your questions and comments in the comment section. So you can go to the broadcast in Twitter and put it in the chat. But I am going to, so I'm finally ready. Toga, help me. I'm going to share screen now, as always. Um, I guess we're a little bit old school here. We like to share screen. We like to
We are.
prepare slides and share screen. I love it, because then you all have something to see. Um,
Tracy, what is my comment now? Isn't that a boomer thing?
yeah, we've decided we don't say that anymore.
The B word.
We've overused it. We've milked it too
That's true.
much.
That's
Yeah,
true.
people
Okay,
are
forget
starting
about
to
it.
feel bad.
Yeah,
So
move on, move on, move on,
yeah.
move on. Yeah.
Okay, so I am sharing a lot of screen right now because there is going to be a few things going on. So first of all, you see screen in the screen. There is a good reason for this. Um, Please do come to the Twitter space of Mogaland. So I'm showing everyone how to do this. I've been told that my explanation was never clear. So we have special prizes today, as mentioned. Whitelist for Medieval Empire Genesis Commander NFT collection. And it's going to be a free mint. There are limited spots, and participants in today's live stream are eligible to claim some of those spots. So we'll be announcing the winner shortly after the event, as we always do. Um, how to win, right? To increase your chances of winning, you have to like the space in Twitter X. So I'm showing you how to do that. Go to Mogaland's Twitter account. If you're not a follower already, make sure you're following. Go to the post, like you see it right here, this live stream post. Make sure to comment. Sorry, this, yeah, reply. Make sure to comment and make sure to mention Moga and tag two friends in your comment. Make sure to give us a repost. You can add a quote if you want to, or if you just repost directly, that's fine as well. Of course, you should like the space and make sure to bookmark it. Let us push that Twitter algorithm. So make sure to do all these. You qualify for claiming a prize for today. So what you see in the background, we're going to come back to that later. So like the space, comment about Moga, tag two friends, repost, bookmark, and make sure you are following Mogaland. If you're not following Mogaland's Twitter X account by the time we're selecting winners, you unfortunately would not qualify. All right, so let us get started with today's topic. We want to share updates and more information about the MOGA token. That's why you're all here. First question that we are asked all the time by institutional investors, by experts, by KOLs, by other projects is why does Mogaland need a token? And we believe this is a very important question that all of you ask the projects that you're evaluating when being active in the Web3 space. And also, we would like to proactively answer this question for you. Funny that you can see my doc. This is kind of annoying. Let's see if I can put it away. Ah, there you go. Okay, so why does Mogaland need a token? So we have a token because we want to make learning about finance and crypto accessible. So let's start with discussing the accessibility a bit. Um, Matthias, what we have always discussed is to create an on-chain game that is easy for all kinds of people with all kinds of background to access. In my opinion, having a token increases that as accessibility because it actually reward people and pay them for their time so that they're not trading off their time that they can use to do something else useful to play this game. They are actually also not losing, basically, right? Minimizing their opportunity costs by being in Mogaland. What do you think is sort of the our token's role in accessibility?
Yeah, it should be, or it will clearly be a so it's a multi-layer actually approach that we are following there clearly. So first of all, it is of naturally a kind of motivation, a tool for motivation, right? As you just said, don't just waste your time by playing whatever kind of a game. I would say, first of all, wasting your time in Mogaland already is kind of delivering a return on this investment time, because you're going to learn intuitively, willingly or not. You're going to learn about finance, which is a win always. First of all, by content, right? By knowledge. Second, it can be a win also in a monetized way, in a sense that you will be winning and rewarded with actually MOGA tokens, which then also gives you a monetary aspect of winning. Thirdly, it is that by having MOGA tokens, we automatically pull people and players into the Web3 world, and you need to learn how you set up a wallet. You need to learn what this Web3 financial, decentralized finance, whatsoever world is looking like. Uh, and and this is part of the holistic learning experience and gaming experience then. So the token itself becomes a part of the game by doing so. I think the token is definitely at least then 50% of the game experience, but also a motivating reward tool. Would that
Yeah,
meet
so
our ambition?
yeah, and actually you already answered like the next two things, so I'm
Yeah,
just gonna bring them on screen as well. So we
German
believe
efficiency. What can I say?
having yeah, and we believe having a token for Mogaland is very highly crucial for us because we want to make learning about finance and crypto not just accessible, but also fun and also rewarding, right?
Mm.
And embedding a token in our ecosystem allows us to do just that. We talked about the accessibility, and actually, Matthias, you touched upon a very important point, which is bring people into Web3, educating them about the financial impact, teaching them how to set up wallet, letting them understand how to monetize, but also protect themselves and have long-term gains and growth in Web3. This increases actually accessibility to finance in general, right? Because as you have personally firsthand experienced some shocking statistics and status of the world regarding financial inclusion. This is why accessibility is so important for us. So maybe if you can like educate the audience a little bit about some financial inclusion struggles that we
Yeah.
still face today.
I'm not about to educate anybody, so let me just share maybe the one or the other data point or learnings, Tracy, because you mentioned it. You know, I think we spoke about it. We come from banking and actually retail banking, and we co-created two challenger banks over the last 25 years. And the first one was like when I would say the majority of the audience was not even around on this lovely planet. Was We founded in 1994, which was a discount brokerage bank. Actually, brokerage means you can trade stocks and so on. Actually, they're very cost efficient and price and very technically efficient. What we did see is that people had absolutely no idea about money, right? So I would say 80% of our customers lost money by following their own trading, whatever Guzmark strategy, more or less like trading randomly, maybe, having no analysis on the market, having no strategy, no targets, no discipline on doing this, and so on. Just using it as a casino, as a very legal casino type of thing, which of course was the opposite of what we wanted to do those days. We wanted to decrease the hurdles. We wanted to improve access to capital markets. We wanted to, at the end of the day, democratize capital markets by creating such an offer, and majority used it as gamble. So that was pretty frustrating on the one side. In the same time, actually, it was the already first part of the foundation that we are speaking about here and now, which is games and finance, because already those days, or let me say then at least later, we came back by the idea and say, okay, if you want to have a gamble, let's create a game, not a bank, for providing fun and excitement, and create a risk-free environment. So on the one side, in the same time, We can see now today's world as a jump in time, 20 years later, 30 years later, uh, where in which the challenge of financial illiteracy and having no clue about finance is even bigger than before. Why? Because the world of finance became much more complex, many more facets in it. Web3 is one of that. You need to clearly include this. And this is why I'm so happy about. This is why Mogaland looks as it looks. You know, it's a very inclusive, uh, but also from Web 2 to Web 3. It's not only focusing on people who are already in Web 3. Tracy and I, we are absolutely dedicated to say we need to enable and support mass adoption of Web3, which means we automatically have to speak to Web2 people. And in the same time, Web3 people have to understand what an account looks like, why a loan is necessary, why KYC might be useful, and creating stability to all of us. You know, so it's a very holistic picture. We should not only look into one area; we have to touch all areas. And yeah, and that's why Mogaland looks as it looks.
Yeah, and speaking again of accessibility, this is like making learning about finance and crypto accessible. This is very important to and dear to us because we've been involved also in different initiatives to talk about financial exclusion, right? There are actually many places in the world where a lot of people don't even get to open a bank account for many institutional reasons, right? Either they don't qualify or the bank account costs money to have and they can't afford that. And people who don't have access to a bank account, they get excluded from other activities in life, right? And of course, Mogaland is not providing a bank account, but at the same time, not being able to access knowledge and know-how about finance and crypto is another reason that blocks people from financial dream freedom, right? From reaching their dreams in life, reaching their goals in life. So we think the first step we can do is to make learning very accessible because actually with the rise of Web3, we don't need to make bank accounts accessible anymore, right? But we need to let people understand that anyone can create a wallet, anyone can educate themselves and take opportunity of the earning mechanisms out there in this space. So that's a little bit more on the
Yeah,
accessibility.
yeah, that's Tracy. This is why we once created the tagline saying where fun creates no where fun fuels financial freedom. All the Fs, four Fs, where fun fuels financial freedom. This is Mogaland, and that could be any better. You know, it doesn't need a revolution to create freedom. It only needs fun, and this is what I find to be so positive about it.
Yeah, exactly. And you keep mentioning the word fun as well, which is great because, whenever we think about, even myself, right, when I think about learning of finance and crypto, it sounds very boring, unfortunately. A lot of the materials out there are very technical, sometimes difficult to understand. And after a long work day or after a day at maybe at school or maybe at work already, dealing with private responsibilities, it's a lot to ask of people, right, to want to sit down and learn more. But if we make the experience fun, like we do in Mogaland, it's going to be more relaxing, more motivating, and more enjoyable for our audience. And we also noticed that one of the things that make games fun is because you can accumulate your own achievements and you can build and create things and gain and grow things inside a game. So, what's better than taking that to the next level? That something you are building and growing and accumulating is a real world asset that you can also own and trade for real, right? And
Yeah.
this is where we see the fun aspect, first of all, being so motivating, but at the same time, how having a token and tokenized aspect of the game help make fun even more fun. Yeah, and then finally it comes the reward, right? And I think this is straightforward, right? Everyone wants to be rewarded for their effort, for their time, for doing something useful. And what's better than being rewarded for your own learning, which is heavily missing, I think, in a more traditional schooling or educational environment, right? Of course, the reward is your intelligence, it's the sort of long term gains you might have from your educational certificate, your degree that you get. But oftentimes, that reward doesn't directly have a positive correlation with how hard you worked at school, right? And this is something that we're also trying to overcome. Yeah, so one of our audience just said, didn't get any money because I aced my exams. And that's exactly what we want to cure, so to speak. Right.
Yes, I don't know how this is. I guess it's globally the same, but it's when even in my days when we've been at school and you've did bring home a good actually a good result from an exam or so, maybe your grandparents gave you whatever, like 5 German marks those days or 10 German marks, and that was a lot of money, right? And you
Mm,
knew about it, so whenever you had a new good exam, you ran up to your grandparents, said, "Hey, here's a new one. Where's the money?" I know it's for educational reasons. It's not the best to educate via money, absolutely, right? Uh, but it's a nice side effect, right? Yeah, it's the way it should be.
it's definitely a valid motivation for um, the
Yeah.
user or the learner, so to speak. So we're gonna move on from this topic. I hope everyone gets a clear view on, why it's actually very important for Mogaland to have a token. It's not just about, pump and dump or fundraising. It is truly a crucial aspect of the concept and the product that we are creating. So now we've talked about token, we talked about Moga. What is so cool about this token? What's all the secret behind? We're going to reveal this step by step in our Moga talk today. So let's take a first look. First, I want to dive into Mogaland's Learn to Earn economy, because the whole economy works together. It's not just only about the token, although it is a very crucial aspect. So for those of you who is going to have longer term, more engagement with Mogaland. This is very, very important. So inside Mogaland, there is learning rewards for everyone. And there are two kinds of learning rewards. On the left-hand side, you see our NFTs. This is one Guardian from the Alpha collection. And then on the right-hand side, you see the Moga token. The learning rewards work in two different ways, right? First of all, with the NFTs, there is going to be a free guardian assigned to every user, well, to be unlocked actually by every user every season. So if you subscribe to each season, you're going to get a new guardian. And you play and learn to upgrade your guardian to unlock free mint so that you can actually now own this asset that will allow you to trade. And as you all know, trading NFTs has the possibility to earn you some extra income. And actually, through how you play and learn, you're going to shape your NFT differently, right? So your Guardian's going to evolve, it's going to have cool features, you're going to impact how it is. So, for example, if Matthias and I, we both play and learn for 10 hours, it could be that after that 10 hours, our Guardian looks very different and have different skill sets and capabilities, right? And finally, as we talked about in an earlier live stream where we talked about the beta version, if your guardian has a lot of special powers, you can actually offer your guardians to be a mentor of somebody else's guardian. So, for example, if your guardian actually has done really well in his learning progression and has very strong knowledge and powers in crypto ETFs, while my guardian is maybe only strong in learning but knows nothing about crypto. I can actually ask Matthias to mentor me, right? And since he's offering his mentorship, his guardian could actually earn from offering me such mentorship. So that is the first fold of learning rewards for everyone who is an active user of Mogaland. The second fold is our MOGA token. We have designed learning goals for the entire community. And when the community reaches these learning goals together, you're going to unlock MOGA token as reward for yourself, right? So that's the first way to earn MOGA is to learn. The second way is actually your activeness and your actions inside our community. If you help people, if you engage with other users in a positive and responsible manner, you will also actually help everyone to reach the collective goal faster to get reward, right? So if you help and engage, it increases the chances for everyone to unlock MOGA token rewards. Thirdly is through our ambassador program. This was announced recently. We have launched a new ambassador program where ambassadors that help build the community, help enrich Mogaland, and give us feedback and take part in different activities will have many ways to earn Moga token to be a part of the mission of Mogaland, right? To make learning about finance and crypto more accessible, more fun, and more rewarding. And therefore, you will have an opportunity to earn a Moga token as well. And finally, it's the same as the Guardian NFTs. You would uh, earn from mentoring because when you offer your Guardian NFT to mentor others, you would have the possibility to be paid in MOGA inside the game. Did I answer? Did I kind of paint the whole picture of our learning rewards? Matthias, did I miss something?
No, I think it's a lot already, and it will not be. It's the current status, I would say. As much as I know us, we are extremely creative about it, and it's also that by the contribution of the community, I'm sure we're gonna have even additional thoughts then coming up in future.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for mentioning that. And I should really remind everyone this is just the starting point, right? Don't forget
Mm.
we've launched the alpha version. We've made the NFTs live. Oh, made them live. We brought them live on Immutable X earlier this year. We've done a few rounds of airdrops. We have recently brought the MOGA token live on base mainnet. So the minting smart contract is live on base mainnet, and we are building our beta version right now. What does this all mean is very much just the beginning, right? And you already see so much. I must say, I sometimes when I talk to people and give them an overview about what we've been up to, our progress, everyone's really crazy impressed because we're still in alpha, right? We're still at the beginning of this journey. We started the alpha journey at the end of 2022, right? We did some proof of concept showcase at the Singapore FinTech Festival in 22, and then we started, put our like heads down and started building alpha, and we did all this in little bit more than a year's time. If you look at a lot of the Web3 projects, they've raised many, many rounds of funding through their token and have been working for 2, 3 years. And they are only just getting to launch like a closed alpha or a closed beta. And it oftentimes has much less feature than the Mogaland app that's in the App Store right now. So I think that's also something that the audience can take away is that even at the stage of alpha heading into beta, we're already enabling so many features. So let us move on from this. Yeah, so I want to actually step back a little bit and go back into the beta version that I just talked about for those audience who didn't have a chance to join us during the beta reveal. This is, we talked about alpha, it's live in the App Store, but this is an exclusive first look at what Mogaland beta is heading into as a direction. It's going to be much more 3D. It's going to expand in terms of its future locations, features, mechanisms, and the guardians that we showed earlier, as well as the interaction with the token, is going to take place at all these different areas of interest within the game. And the guardians will play a major role as the defender of the Tree of Wisdom, and every season, learners will receive a seasonal guardian, and which they can level up with squirrels to unlock minting. And of course, there's the opportunity to mentor to earn MOGA tokens. So this is a quick recap on, how do those assets play a role in the gaming and learning experience you're going to have. Now coming to a bit of the more serious part, because I know everyone's here, they're interested in the MOGA token. It is extremely important, as you're all aware, which we talk about in all our financial literacy and crypto literacy series, is to understand the tokenomics and business model of a project if you are interested in the token, right?
See, this is the banker in you, Tracy. See,
Well, we are a educational project, right? So
yeah,
we need
yeah.
to we need to
Speak
do
about the
this.
budget. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
What's the model? Show me the
ex-
model. Show
exactly.
me the model.
And yeah, and Moga token, and we've looked and looked and looked, and we are 100% confident in saying that it is the only token that rewards fun learning, especially in the space of finance and crypto literacy learning. Sorry for the messed up capitalized letter here. Fun was supposed to be all capitalized. I don't know how that disappeared. But let us look a little bit at this amazing user journey, because this is what every learner in Mogaland will experience is you play in order to learn, right? So you play and learn in this fun, casual environment. It's free to enter, free to play, free to learn. There are no requirements for you to purchase anything. There are no paywalls, either fiat or crypto of any kind. Um, the more you play and learn, the more you increase the collective financial literacy, right? And this collective financial literacy means the financial literacy of everyone added together. So it's collective, right? So the more you contribute, the more you socialize and help others, the more you engage in the community, the more you play and learn, the more you would increase the collective financial literacy. And by doing so, you would directly unlock MOGA learning rewards. And at the same time, as designed by our monitoring mechanism, we will also be burning MOGA when you reach these learning milestones. And then you can actually see that, the more you play and learn, of course, due to the game economy, it's going to increase the demand for MOGA token. And because of other opportunities that we monetize from, for example, advertisement, as well as some B2B opportunities, the more you play and learn and engage with the game, the more fiat money revenue that Mogaland will also earn. Right. So all these different things is happening by you simply playing and learning. Um, Finally, the learning will reach this earning stage. Why is that? Because once you unlock MOGA learning reward, there will be governance decision within the community about how this token can be distributed now to the learners, right? So that's your first sign of earning something, right? You've unlocked some MOGA, this is gonna come to you now. For those of you who understand like the supply and demand, I'm sure you all know this much better than all of us here because you're all very active in the space. When you burn MOGA, of course, that's going to lower the supply of MOGA and therefore increase the pricing. Um, by increasing MOGA demand, that of course have the same impact on supply and demand, and therefore pushes MOGA price upwards. And once we enable fiat revenue, this gives us the opportunity to allocate these fiat revenue back to the tokenomy. And therefore, all of these will eventually lead to a pressure to increase the MOGA price. And all this actually comes back to you, the learner, right, to reward you. So this is where we see not only is MOGA going to be fun, it's cool to have this as part of economy, but we really have designed every mechanism within the Mogaland ecosystem to make sure that it is giving back value to our learners. If the audience have any questions or comments, feel free to pop it in the live chat. I can see that from here. So all good. Anything to add, Matthias?
No, absolutely. It just illustrates and shows, or not only just, it illustrates and shows that at least us, we understand the demand and supply. It
Yeah.
also illustrates that the token is an integral part of Mogaland. It is not disconnected like we know that from some other concepts where you have the token on the one side and maybe not even a game on the other side, but it's only a communication bridge, but nothing else. No, nothing to add. It's at you know. Um, Actually, I like one comment. Sorry, I forgot who mentioned it, but capitalized fun is actually a great phrase. Yeah, that's it. Capitalized fun. Thank you. That's a great phrase. Actually, I find that to be extremely. This is exactly it, right? Capitalized fun. Where do you have something like that? There's this is unprecedented that you have capitalized fun on the one side, and in the same time, if you would regard Mogaland to be a nation, which of course is far-fetched and very high in comparison, and maybe I'm not crazy about it, but if you regard Mogaland to be a nation, we would be the only nation that's stability of its own currency in the picture is actually driven by the smartness of people. So what nation would you know on the planet actually that is following the same model? And if other currencies of states would actually run the same way, how stable would be whatever, like a euro versus a US dollar versus other nations' currencies? I do not want to even mention because it could be seen again as to be too political. But I think this makes it so attractive. It's a nation with its own currency that is driven by the smartness of people, and it's capitalized fun, if I may borrow that claim, actually.
Yeah, and in Mogaland, the more financial savvy our participants, our community, and our learners are, the higher the value is the Moga token, actually. If you follow this graph, what you would realize is there is a positive correlation between increase in your financial and crypto literacy to this native token that this community is creating and upholding, right? So the
Yeah.
positive correlation is between like your, as you said, your knowledge and the pricing. And this is no financial advice, by the way, by no means, right? But we're
No.
just explaining like the vision and concept, how we are creating the user journey and the flow within Mogaland.
Yep. Absolutely. No financial advice at all. It's
So
just Tracy. The only financial advice is learn about finance. That's the advice, right? And and
absolutely.
and once you learn about finance and you succeed in your classes and whatever like lessons you do, and maybe you come back and say, listen, guys, I learned about finance, and what I learned now is that MOGA, the concept of MOGA, how you present it is absolutely bonkers. Hey, free to discuss that in any means. Nevertheless, what you see here is really based on like Tracy and I combined 50 years of financial services experience. Of course, the huge majority of this is, as you can see on my side, yeah, by age actually only, not by experience. But yeah, move on, Tracy. I'm getting into BS again.
So, coming back to our topic, MOGA. No, just kidding. But no, it's really great actually to have like people of, it's what we want to do, right? We want to bring people of some different knowledge level and background together. And that's why we're using gaming as a channel, because we realize that is the place where people of all kinds of age and background actually meet together, right? If we look
Hmm.
at a casual game, I always remember the example is my favorite example is Animal Crossing. Like there are people from 5 year old up to 85-year old playing in Animal Crossing, and having these common goals and socializing and very much learning about basic personal finance in this gaming environment, which is, yeah, a great inspiration for us. But coming back to Moga, for those of the audience that's still with us, I hope you are getting some more insights and getting more excited about Moga. So we want to give you a bit of an overview on the tokenomics. There's a lot of details in our white paper that you can find online at whitepaper.mogaland.io. But this picture kind of sums up why the Moga tokenomics is actually really well designed, because the Mocha tokenomics is backed by a very robust business model. And that is a fallacy that we have seen in many of the projects where one, two, or even multiple tokens are being launched, but the connection to a business model is completely missing, right? The only business model that some projects have is purely using token for fundraising and then doing market making on that. But there isn't a deep connection to the economy of their product. So this picture actually perfectly explain the overall economy. And of course, this economy is backed by a token. That's why it's called a tokenomics of Mogaland. So you can see that in the center, that's the Mogaland game. And on the outer layer, it is all the different stakeholders that will interact with this game. You will see that through different activities, if we start from the upper right, we see that the learners has a learn to earn economic relationship with the game. They can play and therefore they can also buy and trade NFTs, and they will earn rewards from the NFTs that they created. Two-way flow. To actually the other relationship, which is the playing and the spending. Learners have the opportunity, of course, to spend both fiat or crypto inside the game whenever they would like to unlock certain things, to get boosters, to participate in special events. And in return for their playing, they will also be rewarded via the NFT mainly, as well as for their learning via the MOGA token. Similar loop goes for the mentors. And actually, as a learner, you could be also a mentor. You could also be a MOGA token holder. You would just have these different interactions on top of being a learner. Um, so, what this picture is telling you as a key takeaway is that there's a very healthy flow and balance of token transactions between the learners, the mentors, the token holders, the community treasury, and the game itself. And there is also a healthy flow of transactions of fiat currency across these different stakeholders and components in this economy. So having these different actors and these flow of transactions in the economy will be very helpful to the price development of Mocha token, as well as for the rewards and opportunity for the Mocha holders, right? If you ever see like a project where there is a token, but there is no transactional flow or design to circulate this token, there is no use case. What we always talk about the utility of the token. One has to wonder, like, how is this going to work if there's no demand, supply, and use cases to that. Why does it exist, right? So this is I would say, the main takeaway on why we believe the MOGA taxonomy is extremely well designed. I'm going to move on from this page, why MOGA. But before I go forward here, I see that one of the audience have asked a question: what security measures are in place to protect the token ecosystem? So first of all, the first step of security measure for a taxonomy, or let's say the technology of it, which is smart contracts on blockchain, is through really well development work done on the smart contract. So we work with different type of tools to create the smart contracts. This includes leveraging protocols and open source codes from Open Zeppelin. A lot of these codes are already pre-audited, tested, proven through many, many use cases. We also work with a service provider called At3. They are actually co-founded by really experienced Web3 builders who have launched many different blockchain tech and DeFi projects. And their tool, let's say the infrastructure that they provide, are also already pre-audited by several blockchain IT security and auditors. And this combination of all these tools allow us to deploy smart contracts not just very quickly, but also very securely, because there's been several layers of audits done from all kinds of different perspectives. Additional thing is that once we have set up the smart contracts for MOGA tokens use case, we then order an additional security audit, right, to examine our use case in particular for that. Then there is the ongoing security monitoring that we will apply. We are already, so At3 as a service provider to us already provide this out of the box, but we also are having conversations with other security providers such as Hat Finance. For those of you who have attended our earlier sessions, you would know that we're already in collaborations with them. What they do, for example, is that they organize bug bounty competitions and also continuous, let's say, hacking of your smart contract to identify the vulnerabilities, right? And actually, they're a very decentralized service, which in my opinion, increases the security and the fairness, because this is not like a centralized service that said, okay, I'm going to charge you like 3K a month, and you don't know like what level of expertise they're putting on your project. So how hats do it is they organize IT security experts and hackers to compete with each other to find vulnerabilities in your ecosystem. And only when they find something, they are rewarded and paid, right? So that's another measure that we would be utilizing and putting into place. Yeah. Okay, so now regarding why MOGA. So we talked about why there is a token in Mogaland. We talked about the tokenomiy of the entire Mogaland centralized around the MOGA token, as well as our NFTs. We just want to oh, I have some animation issues here. You see,
And
that
and
showed up in the wrong way. Yeah.
and Tracy, should we also
Oh.
speak about Superman's nightmare comment about most of the game tokens price drops drastically, or do you want to leave this for later? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do this. So yeah, I'll finish why MOGA and then I'll address this. As you can see, I
Okay.
have some slides issues. So Matthias, do you want to start there so I can fix the slide live so that we can come back ready?
No. Absolutely. You fix the slides. To the point of Superman's nightmare, most of game tokens price drops drastically after initial launch. How are you planning to overcome that in difference to other projects? Yeah, that is. Let me say, this is Tracy's and my favorite topic. Actually, we had a close look to many of those developments, and we had on the one side, first of all. Second, we have had many discussions with potential buyers of the token on the more institutional side. We had discussions or conversations, I have to say, with potential buyers on the private side. We had conversations with so-called KOLs, key opinion leaders, that are interested to acquire MOGAs or any token then also at a certain point. What we learned actually is that in particular, the institutional side is only interested in really then co-defining, and this is really a friendly term in this sense, co-defining actually the tokenomics to their favor, which would allow, in my very short words, another pump and dump scheme, which means, yes, we would buy MOGA or any other token. We would buy the token. Let us make sure that there is a short-term increase of pricing by a huge community that is just jumping on it, which of course needs, first of all, the numbers of the community, second, the right KOLs, and so on. It's totally disconnected to what we do on the Mogaland side, by the way, I have to say. And then once it's peaking, actually, we want to sell off and get away. And this is what I would call pump and dump. Um, and this is what actually is the opposite of what we want to achieve. We do not want to achieve financial literacy by learning it the hard way like this, like in a pump and dump scheme, you know? So this is why the answer to this is, first of all, being aware of that risk is already one step of avoiding it. So this is part one of the answer. Part two of the answer is that our go-to-market will be very much focused around exactly those components that might decrease the value of the MOGA token in future instead of increasing it. And this is also why it's so valuable that Tracy shared the kind of MOGA tokenomics flowchart regarding supply and demand. Tracy and I, we are both very experienced when it comes to trading on
I'm
stock
back, by the
markets.
way.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I did
I
see you.
when I stopped sharing screen, it kicked me out. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
I didn't just run off.
No, no, no. I'm just saying that I think you heard what I'm saying. So, but this is why I think the experience already on various types of markets doesn't matter, by the way, whether it's an incumbent stock trading market or a super modern, trendy Web3 asset. Supply and demand is making the price. This is all the same everywhere, right? So we are extremely experienced about all this, and we really try hard to make it as much as possible, that the ones who buy MOGA tokens are committed to the mission statement that we have, and that we, in the same time, by then developing into beta version and so on, that we increase the demand for it. So yeah, that's some of the answers. There are definitely more. Tracy, over to you.
Are we still talking about the price development?
I was responding to Superman's nightmare, and
Is
now it's
the
up to you to go back to why Moga and to your slides where you got kicked out.
Yeah. So, yeah, so regarding I see that there was another question
Yeah,
from
that popped up in
Superman's
the meantime.
Nightmare. Are there any recent changes in the tokenomics? If yes, why did those change? So no, actually there are no changes in the tokenomics. There is, however, a new feature that was introduced uh, as a part of the beta concept, which is the mentor to earn aspect, right? So the main flow of the tokenomics, where users play and learn to unlock MOGA token to be made available as learning rewards, that did not change. That is always the main theme of Mogaland's tokenomics. The mechanisms where every time users achieve higher level of financial literacy, we will burn some token and also contribute fiat income back to the tokenomics. That also has not changed. That's always been, again, a key theme of the MOGA tokenomics. Why these things? Because this creates the positive correlation between the increase in financial and crypto literacy to the MOGA token price. So these things not change, but we did add something new, which is something we announced very recently, the mentor to earn feature that comes with the Guardians. As you notice, we also renamed the animals, which was originally called companions to guardians, because they were always going to have a role of defending the tree of wisdom. So we think the name guardians are much more suitable in this new beta release, that they'll be upgraded to become guardians of Mogaland. So that was a name change, not a tokenomics change. As you can see, a good 30+% amount of the token is actually allocated to our community for learning rewards, for social activities, for making sure that we continue to have incentives and continue to have room to give back to the community. So I would say these are some of the recent developments. Um, in the past, and this was never like announced, therefore it was not changed. In the past, we have been evaluating different chains, different blockchains where we're going to launch MOGA first. MOGA will very soon and very quickly become multi-chain, starting with the EVM compatible chains. So there is no doubt in that. Everyone can rest assured that will become extremely convenient to bridge your token. However, we have recently decided to first launch on Base, which we have also announced recently. But as Matthias, you mentioned, which I wanted to do, let's hop back into my presentation. So this doesn't work anymore. Ah, there you go. Yeah, I did not manage to fix the animation. Sorry, guys. So the USP of MOGA. So this is to answer the question why MOGA, which was here. So why MOGA? Because actually we have a very experienced team. As Matthias mentioned, actually both of us have a background in finance and economics and in banking of different kinds. So it's not like your typical traditional, let's have a bank account kind of banking, but we did a lot of digital banking, including providing on-off ramp services to, for example, Kraken, Ripple, and Bitcoin DE. So here you have a very experienced team behind a MOGA token, which we believe is a very strong differentiator. We talked about the business model. So Mogaland as a game has business model where we earn revenues from different channels of fiat and crypto income. This could come from advertising. This could come from B2B partnerships. This could also come from B2C commercialization of different aspects and features inside the game. And last but not least, what we believe also to be a very strong selling proposition of Mogaland and the Moga token is that it's designed to be inclusive, right? It's about spreading knowledge, making everyone smarter and more savvy, right? Rather than excluding people because we don't want to give them the knowledge, right? It's exactly the opposite. We want to spread knowledge, we want to make everyone better, we want to include more and more people and actually bring more people from currently not in the Web3 space into the Web3 space by providing them the tools, fun tools, and interactive tools to do so. Before I go forward, I'm going to be a bit Yoda at the moment, going up and down, left and right. For those of you who have joined us much later, at the beginning, we announced that we always have a special prize for all the MOGA talks, but today we have a very special prize. Our good friends at Medieval Empire have sponsored whitelist spots for our community. So for those who participate in today's live stream, please go to, I didn't put the link here, please go to this stream in Twitter, the post that please give it a like, comment about Moga token, what you think about it. If you can, tag two friends, let them know why you love it so much. Repost and bookmark, and make sure you are a follower of Mogaland. and you will have a chance to be selected for a whitelist spot for Medieval Empires Genesis Commander NFT collection, which is a upcoming free mint with limited availability. So let me Yoda forward, if that's really a word. So I know everyone is asking about this for actually quite many weeks now. I see some of our audience asking, okay, when are you listing? When is this coming? So yeah, when Moga is the question in everyone's mind. This is why I wake up to every morning as well. Trust me, we're also very anxious. We also want to make sure we move forward and get MOGA out there. So a little bit more detail on that. As you are all aware, we cannot tell you exactly when is listing and when is TGE. That is always a highly confidential information that we have to coordinate with many, many different stakeholders in the market, as well as closely monitor the market condition. Um, but why are we being so careful? Because of course, this is where we all want to go, right? We want to make sure MOGA has an amazing takeoff after launch. That's why we've been taking our time, being extremely diligent, being very careful in making evaluations on who's the right launch partner, where do we go, who do we collaborate with, so that we make sure the token performs well when it is finally listed. So a little bit on the progress and the next steps. So at the end of last year, for those of you who haven't been with us for that long, Q4 2023, we have launched the Mogaland app. I'm calling it the super alpha because actually, like, look at this alpha. It's got 3 mini games, tons of partnerships, tons of features, whole gear sets with stats and everything. And we've been doing tons of community clash. So it's so much more than an alpha, guys. So we've got that done. We said we're going to launch in the market. We did. And as promised to our first round of Community Clash participants in December 23, we are going to launch NFTs and airdrop that to them. We have fulfilled that promise as well in Q1 2024. Our Guardian NFT Alpha Collection was launched on Immutable X and was dropped to all the winners, as well as winners from our close partners in the Community Clash. In Q2 2024, which was very recently, we said we're going to start the smart contract development, which we have not only started but already completed. And all of this have led us to a very busy Q3 so far, where we are preparing the launch readiness for MOGA. The first step is, of course, to deploy the MOGA token on mainnet, which we have done. So you can now actually find the MOGA token on base mainnet. If you go to base scan, you can find us, you can find the project, you can find the token. If you can't find it, if you don't know where it is, the link is available in the post that we have made about our recent mainnet deploy. So that was extremely successful. The audit report is being concluded at the moment. As I mentioned, we've already had actually several rounds of audit based on the smart contract, the codes, and the tools that we are using within deploying our smart contract. And now we are getting a final customized audit report just for the setup of Mogaland, Moga token. So this is coming our way in the next couple of days. Unfortunately, the auditors are super backed up right now because the market has picked up again, and it's like summer vacation time. Apparently, they thought the market is super dead. They let everyone go to vacation, and now the market has picked up. They're rushing to finish all the work. But I've just been promised this morning this is coming in the next 2 days. Um, we have also been working on a dashboard for all our token holders. What are you going to be expecting in this dashboard? You will be able to view the pricing performance of the token. You'll be able to see who are the holders, your own holding status, the vesting and release schedules, as well as access staking. And as soon as bridging and swapping is available, you would be able to access those directly in the dashboard as well. We did post actually a work in progress view of the dashboard in the test environment a while back. We could post that again after the stream or make like a small demo for you guys. Exciting because from day one, you would have the highest level of access and usability for your tokens. So you would not be in the dark. Last but not least, we are having a lot of conversations with a lot of launchpads. Our project is getting a lot of attention. Every day, we've got launchpads reaching out to us, and we want to make sure we get the top launchpads that everyone trusts and has the best community and has the best condition for the token holders. And that's why we're taking our time to properly do due diligence and to negotiate on the contract terms so that none of our token holder is eventually left at a disadvantage. And this is absolutely the same when it comes to conversations with CXs. Um, for those of you who are familiar with CXs, you know that this is a very, very tricky part that the project has to be very careful about. Um, for those of you who don't know, on the one hand, having a centralized exchange listing is absolutely awesome and important for the token. But on the other hand, we also have to be really careful regarding the deal we make with the CXs so that we have a healthy tokenomics and a healthy token price progression when we launch. And finally, of course, we need to select the right DXs as well to make the token available on DEXs for those users who prefer DEXs. And of course, since we're launching first on Base, we will be selecting the DEXs that supports Base chain. Okay, so this is a little bit on the progress and next steps. So as you can see, hopefully if you're listening carefully and very closely to what I'm saying, you can see we're getting very, very, very close to TG and listing. But first, we will be introducing and making MOGA token available on several launch pads. So that would be the opportunity for the listeners to have a look at taking part in this community. So before all of this happened, this is the key point. Before all of this happened, pay attention to our social media post that is on Twitter, on Telegram, in Telegram, on Twitter, in Telegram, and in Discord. There is several activities ongoing at the moment, including a Galaxy competition. There will be more activities coming. They're always going to be fun and engaging for you. And through taking part in these activities, as well as playing the current alpha version of Mogaland, through all of this, the performance you accumulate in all of this is to going to earn you benefits and privileges as well as a lot of additional opportunities to get your hands on Moga and anything that is coming with the beta version, right? Remember, nothing is to waste. If you play a lot of Mogaland and you get your level up and earn a lot of in-game coins, all of this is going to benefit you in the next steps to come. So yeah, on that note, this is what we are really hoping for, right? Is a very beautiful on-chain summer together with all our audience. I just really wanted to show this image. I personally like it. We borrowed it from Base, and since we're already live on Base, I thought we could use this. So, Matthias, what do you think?
Yeah.
What's your outlook for this summer when it comes
I,
to being on-chain and for games?
I thought I did see this sign outside Austin Airport, but obviously not. Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
that,
it's
that would
it's
be
live. It's live in Texas. This is a
absolutely.
billboard that we
Yeah,
put in
absolutely.
Texas.
Absolutely. It is so what to see for summer. So it is actually, I think the we and we can share that with our audience here is we had so many discussions about the market sentiment, the momentum, and so on the one side. Second, the learning is it's total unpredictability and a volatility in sentiment that is, in my eyes, absolutely unprecedented. You cannot build on an educated guess that whatever, like it will be in a bull market in September and maybe in Q1 2025 it will be a bear market. This is absolutely impossible because bulls and bears are just running around daily, changing uh, minute by minute, I have to say. So I think the only conclusion is to get destiny back in our hands, not to listen or not to kind of read too much in the, how would you say that, Tracy, in the teapot, like or in the crystal ball, actually. So try to read the future, which is impossible, but to create it, right? And this is why I'm so happy about how we do it now, because we take destiny in our hands. We make those decisions. We prepare. Everything is ready. We focus on our community. We are super confident regarding our mission statement, which is financial education, where fun fuels financial freedom. This is a super strong message. We do not have to hide. There is nothing we have to be shy of, and we just do it, right. So this is on our end, and if it's a good market environment, we are happy. If it's not a good market environment, at least many people say it's even better to start in a very critical or even negative environment. Never start in a bull market, because then the only way is south. If you start in a beer market, all of us, we can grow with it. So I think, yeah, it feels good, and we are prepared, and then we are prepared for the worst, and we can honestly hope for the best. So this is why I have a very good feeling about it.
Yeah, me too. Actually, it's like everyone's always like, "Oh my God, it's a bear market. It's a bull market." But in actually our last stream, one of the last streams, a partner mentioned that if you zoom out to the overall development of the crypto market in the last 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, you'll see that actually it's not really a bear market. And yes, as Toga mentioned, um, it's a teddy bear market, right? So it's kind of mellow right now, but it's actually kind of nice and sweet. I think, Matthias, as you mentioned, it's actually a really great time for projects to
Yeah.
focus on getting their launch ready and to do things properly, because there's no rush, there's no fight to, capture that final hype. And there's a lot of BS around, a lot less like noise. So I think it's also a good time for the market to zoom in and take their time to focus on the quality projects, because there is not so much noisy competition out there, right? So
I, I,
that's, yeah.
and that's absolutely, this is absolutely right, and it's un, until and unless you have a great story to tell, and you will demonstrate, showcase use cases, and why you do this, and you have an impact, speak about impact, and you have an impact. We of course couldn't care less about the sentiment in the market, because we are not, our value proposition is not depending on a market sentiment. This is absolutely crystal clear, and this is what makes us so strong about it.
Yeah, and when we take the opportunity to launch because we are ready, because the maturity of the project, because the maturity of the use case, and this is a natural step of our life cycle, and we're ready, we're taking that time to launch. And if it happens to be that the market is just a little bit sleepy, like a teddy bear right now, actually, as you mentioned, there is the only way to go is up from here, right?
Mm.
Because we're not at the peak where we're rushing to throw everything out there and try to take advantage of the pump, and then afterwards comes the unfortunate dump normally. So yeah, I think that's why we're actually very, very excited about a on-chain summer over here. um, One of the audience did ask, base is a great choice, but please tell us why you chose specifically, I believe, why you chose Base as the chain to launch on specifically? And thank you very much for this question. I'm sure my colleague Toga is very happy that this question is raised because that was one of my talking points that, sorry, I forgot. Um, I would love to talk about this actually. So, as all of you might know, some facts about Base. Base is the blockchain layer 2 Ethereum chain launched by Coinbase. Um, what is very positive in my personal opinion, and this is actually the number one thing that I like about Base, is they don't have their own token. Unlike all the other layer ones or layer twos, even layer threes on EVM, they always have their own token, which means this creates a lot of additional hassle for your users, right? If someone wants to interact with MOGA token, if we're launched on a chain that has their own token, you have to first turn your money maybe from your USDC, USDT to ETH. If you already have ETH, you need to swap it to that chain's token so you can use it to pay gas. And then from that chain, you then bridge over to MOGA, right? It's very complicated. We ourselves has been quite irritated by the complexity. And in every of the step, you lose time and you lose gas, right? So it creates a lot of, let's say, unideal user experience. So with Base, it's a EVM, Ethereum layer 2, and they said, why create our own token, right? Let's just use ETH. So it makes transactions, it makes interactions with the end user so much more direct and convenient and cost efficient for our users, because they're not trying to use this chain and an extra token that they create to create monetization, right? That is not the purpose. So that is my number one reason, which I found Base to be a really great partner to start with. Of course, we will also consider other partners. We will consider chains and ecosystems that are very value adding for our users and for our overall concept. So we will not stop here. Um, do you want to add your reasons regarding picking Base, Matthias?
Um, I would say that being the non-tech guy, this is a Tracy, this is a what we call a hospital pass, right? So, no, no,
What
no.
do you mean?
But yeah, no, but you know, I only can fail on this question. But no, no, no. But the point is,
No,
the
I
point
was
to me,
I was gonna
no,
let you
no,
talk about the Coinbase aspect, which
yeah,
you're
yeah,
so
no,
much more familiar with.
yeah, but I mean, technically, I couldn't contribute at all. No, but in the same time, I do absolutely support the base decision. Why? Because I think we need to have standards, and we need to focus on good standards. And we Tracy definitely way more than me, but the conversations we had, base was not only the smallest common denominator, it was actually the biggest one in the industry. You know, everybody, you know, whenever we mentioned other solutions, they say, yeah, that's great, but with base it was absolutely different. Nobody had the but. Everybody said, yeah, that's a good pick. So this is also so we really tested it in the community, how base would land once we would apply base for, or once we would use base for our Mogaland project. In the same time, we have a strong Coinbase relation. Yeah, I have to admit this. We know Coinbase since our feeder days out of Europe. We know that Coinbase is a pretty very compliant partner, not only most recently, but for a longer period of time. So this, I would say, in this industry is a strong signal for stability. Um, of course, we outsiders cannot give a guarantee to this, but in our decision-making process, this kind of compliancy check and look at, of course, also had a big is a big component to it.
Yeah, and some of the KPIs of Coinbase who is, of course, the mother company of Base, that we find also very relevant and important for this decision, right? So Coinbase is one of the biggest centralized exchange as well as a wallet provider in the space. It is fully licensed in every market it operates in. Therefore, it lowers the risk of future issues, for example, being shut down or being banned in certain jurisdictions, right? It is also very focused on financial education. There's a lot of learning features and materials that's always being published and maintained in the Coinbase ecosystem. And they have, I believe, like like hundreds of millions of wallet. And what is so cool about it as well is that every single user, because it is licensed, every single user is KYC'd, which means there is no duplications, there are no potential unlawful use cases, or at least the cases is minimized, because we all know from banking, KYC does not fully prevent unlawful uses. However, that risk is much lower than in other ecosystems. And what we always believe as well is that as the space and this industry matures, there will for sure be more regulations coming. I know everyone is like, oh no, stay away, like regulation sucks. But in order for Web3 to expand beyond the small bubble it is right now, to onboard more people from different backgrounds, even more businesses from different industries, to enable more use cases and to increase stability of the ecosystem, more regulation, more transparency, or more trust is needed, right, in the space. And Coinbase is always sort of in the leadership position in those conversations. And I remember correctly, if I remember correct, they are also publicly traded, right? So they are like crossing both the, let's say, traditional financial markets, as well as being the one of the leaders in the Web3 space, right? And we find that this is important for Mogaland as well, to be able to tap into that ecosystem, to have this relationship, and to be able to tap into hundreds and millions of wallet holders to potentially become a part of Mogalander.
Yeah, and what happens if non-compliance is actually taking place? We see with FTX and so on. So
Yeah,
I think we
everyone
should have
loses.
learned. Yeah, the whole industry suffered that development by inappropriate management and so on. So that was a major setback for the overall industry, and we only can have a secure, or let me say, we only can have a stable future once we would really follow the rules. So this is why, at least, this is Mogaland and trade light philosophy.
Yeah, and this is also like a way we advocate that anyone who is a part of the Mogaland ecosystem and community is, let's say, protected, right? This is not IT security, but this is a different type of security. It's about like financial security, it's about your legal security, because the team is proactively making sure we stay on top of this.
Yeah.
So I think we might be wrapping up soon. If anyone has questions, please feel free to ask in the chat.
I lost Tracy. Is this just me, or is this just Tracy? Tolga?
No,
I think I'm here.
yeah, she is kind of losing connection from time to time.
Oh no, sorry. Let me try to fix
Tracy,
this. I think
you will not
my
lose
headphone
connection.
is low on battery.
See, Tolga, this is why we are here. We make sure that Tracy is not losing connection.
I'm definitely for that. I'm definitely in for that.
Am I? Can you hear me better now? I
Yeah,
think it was my
yeah. I don't think
headphones.
it's about headphones. No, I don't think
No?
it is.
Okay. It's just my very shitty internet. Sorry, everyone. Um, so yeah, I just want to thank everyone again for being here. There is a chance for our participants to claim a whitelist spot in Medieval Empire Genesis Commander NFT free mint, which is coming very soon. You can find information on Medieval Empire's Twitter space, but if you like this space, give us a comment, talk about the MOGA token, tag your friends, repost, share, bookmark, do everything, get excited, um, then you will be eligible to win one of those whitelist spots. And why am I showing the screen? Because it's a part of like our appreciation to you is, when we first launched our alpha season end of last year, we're just starting off with community building through the community clashes and many of these events. You guys have been a huge support actually to this project to help us grow. So across the board, Toga and I've been, working hard adding up the numbers. We have surpassed 168,000 Mogalanders in all the different channels where all of you have been very active and supporting us in. Let us get to 200K, guys. That's our next milestone. Invite your friends. This is a really great project where our native token Moga is coming soon, so you don't want to miss that opportunity. Make sure you get into the community, make sure you pay attention and stay active. And last but not least, do I have? Oh no, that is the last. I thought I had something. Sorry, everyone. My preparation has been a little bit under the water today. To be honest, I didn't wake up feeling so well. I'm glad I recovered, but I had a really bad sore throat, so I blame it on that. Um,
Yeah.
I Yeah, no, I really did. I almost consider writing to Toga and said, I can't speak. Like, how can we do this? But I rebound. Um, I do have a question for our community. This will also be posted as a survey in all our community channels, so you can also go vote. But the question is, should Mogaland also be playable in Telegram? Let us know what you think. There's going to be a survey post tomorrow in all the community channels. Feel free to write us directly as well. In your opinion, should Mogaland also be playable in Telegram? Let us know what you think. We'll be following up on this question and talking more about it in the future. Toga, do you have something to share?
Well, not really.
Okay. No, it's just there was some sounds coming from your end, and I thought it was you who's talking to us. And
Yeah, I'm living next by the street, and someone was passing.
it's the excited people on the street also wanting to
Oh yeah, yeah.
be in.
They were asking me when are we gonna post this survey thing so they can actually vouch in for Telegram thing.
They can
Uh,
vote as
and
well. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and they're apparently excited about such possibility.
Yeah, so let us know because we've been talking about Tegra, about Ton in some of our past live streams, including exploring opportunities for users, for builders on Ton in the ecosystem of Ton Telegram and in the Cosmic section that we talk with Cosmic Factions. They are also very curious in looking into the possibilities there. Of course, we are as well because we love the engagement with our community in Telegram. So do let us know as a Mogalander, do you think Mogaland should also be playable in Telegram? So
Totally.
that's the question to the community. Vote one for yes from Matthias already. Um, let us know what you think, and thanks so much, everybody, for being with us here today. If you have questions, if you have thoughts about Moga, about anything at all, drop us a line in any of our channels. We're always there. Teams around 24/7. Yes, we don't sleep. Um, no, we're always here for you, and we will see you at the next Moga Talks.
Or if it's just about money, right? So I'm sure we are not shy speaking about money as well.
Speaking about how to manage money, because if you don't take care of your own money, somebody
Somebody
else
else
will.
will do.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
exactly.
I
That's
have
a
a
great.
question.
Yes, please.
I have a question to our community. Just I'm trying to gather a playlist. If you know any good songs about money, I have to get motivated. Just write in our community channels. Let me know which songs I should put.
A good song about money. Wow, that's cool. I
Yeah,
think I might know
There's
some.
so
I'm
many.
trying to gather a
Yeah.
playlist for my gym
Yeah,
playlist, and
yeah. I
when
would
I'm
have.
running towards the wall, I want to think about money, but with good
The first
beats.
thing that comes
So
up in my mind, but this is clearly not your generation and it's not good for the gym, is by Pink Floyd. There's a song called Money, but this is not gym ready, so to say.
we'll check that. We'll check that. I
Yeah, do
love
so.
rock. It's fine.
Yeah. No, Pink Floyd is not rap. Yeah, but it's
I didn't
and
say
this
rap.
is
I
exactly
said
why.
rock.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, okay,
I
okay,
know
okay.
Pink Floyd. Of course, I know Pink Floyd.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah, I think
absolutely.
they are pretty timeless, I think.
I hope so. I
Yeah.
hope so. So, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so I think we're reaching the end. We are literally running out of things to talk about. Actually, we
The
have a million
Vegapunk
things to
is
talk about.
Vegapunk 01 is writing, Tracy. I should suggest different mini games for Telegram. That it's linked to the main game. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
Mm,
yeah.
thank you very much.
That's it. That's it. It's not my second identity,
Yeah.
Tracy. It's
No, Vegapunk is like he's like one of our best Mogalanders, I must say.
yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, wonderful. Absolutely
Love
great.
it. Love it, guys. Give us your thoughts, your feedback. We would love to know what you think. And yeah, make sure to vote in the survey. Pay attention. As you can probably get as a takeaway from today's session, that Moga token is in the readiness phase. A lot of work is being done to get it ready for the launch. We can't quite tell you just yet when exactly that would be because, as you know, this is how it goes. However, we will keep you informed, we'll keep you updated, and we'll make sure our community is always the first to know what happened next. So, thanks again for being with us. It's always super nice and actually, honestly, quite fun to talk to you. Music is kicking me out. Thanks, Toga. Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye. It's okay. Play the music.